Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cadet Senior Airman Shelton. This is my commencement speech. Now and then, two different times, two different places, and two different versions of myself. Before I came here to the youth challenge, I felt inadequate. I felt like nothing would change. I felt like a pack of cigarettes could solve all of my problems at home. I acted out and defiantly did whatever I liked. Most of my friends weren't my friends at all. They only used me and fabricated everything that they said to me. Despite my mother's pleas and grievances, I continued to drink, smoke, and blatantly disrespect her. Partying became a priority, while my schoolwork was placed in contempt. My grades began to plummet, along with my self-esteem, and I turned to self-harm. I began to know what it felt like to be bullied. I was ashamed of myself, and my motivation was at an all-time low. My grandparents became older and sicker, but I refused to accept the truth. No matter how hard I kicked, and no matter how fast my longboard carried me, there was simply no distance that could separate me from my problems at home. Me and my mother decided that I needed to make a change. I talked with her about the youth challenge, and we went to the armory in Caldwell to get my papers for orientation. I looked down at the papers in my hands, and to my own disbelief found myself volunteering to come to a military academy. Our drive from Eagle up to Pierce was both quiet and extremely loud. There wasn't a whole lot of conversation, but a memorandum of everything that I did wrong roared inside my head. My stomach twisted in knots, my heart raced, and I was terrified of what was to come. Acclamation, sergeants, cleanliness? I'd never even heard of the word integrity before I came here. The entire idea was still so alien to me. We stayed the night in the Outback in Pierce, where I met the programs director, Mr. Nelson, and his wonderful wife. The town was quaint and beautiful, and I saw signs welcoming the cadets in Pierce. I got a good night's sleep that night, knowing that I was accepted here. Cadet Ward K of the GEMS flight actually stayed in the room above me that night in the hotel, and registration morning was actually pretty awkward for both of us. Once I was registered, and I said goodbye to my family, I took those steps into the DFAC and out into the hallway. Sergeants everywhere, yelling at me, telling me to dump my belongings onto the floor. I was surprised to find that my shirt didn't have any pit stains from how nervous I was. After what seemed to feel like hours of reading my cadet handbook in a room crowded with other sweaty, bald, nervous kids, we went to the evening chow. That was the best grilled cheese sandwich that I'd ever tasted. I was waiting for a sergeant to put me on my face for some random reason, but it didn't happen. Then I cussed. Burpees never hurt so good. I learned towards the end of acclimation how to respect my cadre and how to keep clean. I compare my bedroom at home to my rack and locker here now, and I'm surprised that I even know how to make a bed. I look at myself now, and I see just that. Me. What I'm truly capable of, my true colors. I've got good grades, integrity, self-discipline, and initiative. Never in my life did I envision myself saying that I have an A in math to anyone. But I pushed myself to study, and with the help of my peers and Mr. Brocky, I have succeeded in that. My cadre have helped me through the hard times that I faced, along with my counselors. I feel more important now that I've served communities, and I know that my work is appreciated. In the academy, I learned things that I never thought that I would. I've experienced true camaraderie, and have built a bond with my fellow Axemen and squadron. A lesson that I learned here, the most important and the most commonly referenced, is to have integrity. There were times when I was unintegrous, and I was caught. I did IT, carried a rucksack, and learned from those mistakes. And as I gained maturity, I made less and less. My flight had some issues, but we always found a solution to fix them and learn from them. As Tech Sergeant Pratt would say, it is possible to sweat out the stupid. My mentor, Kellen, helped me understand how hard work really does pay off by bringing me words of encouragement and delicious snacks on Mentor Day. Tech Sergeant Toynbee taught me valuable lessons in some abstract English terms and kept the Axe Bay entertained with a funny drawing or a mind game every morning on the whiteboard. Tech Sergeant Camden honestly scared me at first, and I thought he'd be one of the cadre that I didn't like. I was surprised to find out how nice he was, as he rewarded our flight with many incentives like candy, awesome cadences, and some of his personal entries from his basic training journal. Tech Sergeant Pratt is pretty awesome to say the least. He's sort of a role model to me and constantly kept me motivated with his pep talks and Army wisdom. Tech Sergeant Nelson helped me out a lot too, and no matter what, he found a way to get me up and running again when I felt like quitting. Literally, the guy loves to run. Tech Sergeant Holstein's stories at night always intrigued me and made me aspire to be the best that I can be. I'll never forget the morale in all of his Ranger stories, especially the way each of them started. Over the duration of the academy, there were multiple quotes and sayings that always kept me motivated. Quote, "When everything seems to be falling apart, it may just be falling into place." Unknown. This quote really made me think. It made me realize that everything really does happen for a reason, and even the little things will add up like the penny to a dollar. My mentor took me out to go fishing on our third mentor day and treated me to some delicious pizza. The food was fantastic, and I'm still appreciative of his devotion. But what really hit me hardest was our conversation on the drive back to the academy. He told me that your life is like a tree. It needs water, sunlight, and the right soil to be planted in. If you don't provide it with what it needs, it will wilt and become sick. This motivated me not only to serve others, but to maintain my own life so I can help the people surrounding me efficiently. And I find this whole commencement thing today kind of contradictory. By definition, commencement means a beginning and also a graduation ceremony. Yet by graduating, we're also coming to the bittersweet realization that this is the end of our time here with our newly found comrades, teammates, brothers, sisters, and amazing cadre. I stand before you today representing all of my flight, squadron, and the Idaho Youth Challenge Academy to show you that people really are capable of change. That was then, and this is now. This is our time to shine, and thanks to all of you, my life has changed for the better. I would like to thank my tech sergeants, teachers, the staff, and especially my mother for helping me become the man that I am today. Squadron, please stand up. Give a round of applause for the people who helped you through this program. You may take your seats. This is a small thought that I wrote into my journal to help motivate myself one day. A challenge is only a method to purge someone of their weaknesses. Wounds heal, but scars will always show. We must use these scars to learn, to avoid past mistakes, and to appreciate the people who stitched said wounds together. We've been given a second chance and proven our strength. Let's get out there and show the world what we're made of. That's all.